September the 11th was a horrible day for our nation, and we must never forget the lessons of September the 11th.
Either you are with us, or you are with the terrorists.
On October 17, 2006, President Bush signed into law the Military Commissions Act of 2006. By passing the MCA, Congress and the administration has given its stamp of approval to secret detentions, enforced disappearances, indefinite incarceration, and torture, in clear violation of U.S. and international law. This law also applies to U.S. citizens if the government designates you an enemy combatant, and the definition is extremely broad and arbitrary.
Military Commissions Act? No, I'm not.
Have you ever heard of the Military Commissions Act?
No, I haven't.
I'm not aware of the Military Commissions Act. I have no idea what it is.
I wasn't aware of that law, and it's nothing that I would have voted for if it had come up under a vote.
The question is, have you heard of the Military Commissions Act of 2006?
Nope.
No, I have not heard of it.
You could be a victim of this despotic law. This act strips citizens and non-citizens of their right to appeal their detentions to the U.S. courts if they are held as enemy combatant. This violates the right of habeas corpus guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. The Military Commissions Act prohibits U.S. courts from using foreign or international law to inform their decision in relation to the War Crimes Act. The President has the authority to interpret the meaning and application of the Geneva Conventions.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, I think. That's kind of sad, actually.
Okay.
I trust my president. If I can't trust my president, I would not want him there. I trust him.
The Act prohibits any person from invoking the Geneva Conventions or their protocols as a source of rights in any action in any U.S. court.
It would be violating one of our rights as American citizens. I mean, we all have a right to think the way we want, and disagree if we want to, and agree if we want to. It's all individual choices.
The Act permits, in violation of international law, the use of evidence extracted under cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment.
And the one thing that I support is the act that the president and our government can tap anybody's phone to listen on to what is going on in this country. That's what we have hired them to do. I mean, if we were to be attacked in some area of our country, and then we would look back and say, well, gee, what did the president do? Well, this is his job to know what we are doing, and anyone else that doesn't belong here or has come from another country that may be helping in a terrorist situation. I think that as we work to know exactly what everybody is doing, that's his job. That's what we have hired him to do. We elected him to understand what this world is doing. And as that is a tool that he needs to defend us, why would we be against him? If we have nothing to hide in our conversations every day, why would we take that tool away from our government?
The enemy can't stand the thought of free societies. That's why they attacked us. See?
The Military Commissions Act permits the use of classified evidence against a defendant without the defendant necessarily being able effectively to challenge the sources, methods, or activities by which the government acquired the evidence.
that contradicts the point of this country, I think. It just makes no sense. We're freedom of speech and everything like that, and then now we're not allowed to have that? I think it's ridiculous.
I don't think it's a good idea at all. You know, talk against a war or something and you're a bad citizen, don't make sense.
The act gives the military commissions the power to hand down death sentences in contravention of international standards, which only permit capital punishment after trials affording all possible safeguards to ensure a fair trial. This legislation must be stopped.
Call your congressmember and ask for a full repeal of this draconian law.
To learn more and to find out other ways you can help, go to Center for Constitutional Rights, Bill of Rights Defense Committee, the American Civil Liberties Union, Amnesty International. Before it's too late.
I would not want to be able to lay my head down at night thinking that my government was against me.